This is part 2 of the walkthrough of the Lupin PET Performance Evaluation tool. Let's look at a couple of the other items on the toolbar here. First one's the options selector. It's a little gear indicator. If I click on that, you can see here it has a variety of settings. One of them's turn warning, so this is the maximum time that a turn should take before it shows a yellow warning. This is useful if a lot of cases a turn will equate to a user response time. So if you set a target for something like 3 seconds for a user response time, it'll start showing warnings when turns exceed that. The other useful warning setting is the back end turn delay warning. So this is the time between the last byte seen going to the server from a request and the first byte returning from the server. So setting that will highlight times when back-end processing is slow. Say if a back-end service is taking more than 3 seconds, you might want to set this to 3 seconds. Indication of showing this working. Let's just cancel this and open up one of the other traces. You see here this is highlighted in the turn duration is 5 seconds, so it's been highlighted because it's more than 3 seconds, and back-end durations been highlighted in this case because there's actually 4.8 seconds of the total time. You can see over here in the Gantt chart too that back-end duration's a big gap there. That'd be something I'd be looking at from the performance point of view, because it kind of indicates the back-end's got the delay. Other options are setting user-defined server ports. This is useful in the turn chart for well-known ports. It's going to determine that a well-known port or the lowest port is commonly the service port. But you may want to set specific ports that you know are acting as servers in your traces, and this will help align the requests and replies in the turn chart. So you might want to put in if you have a special port application or service that's running on say port 3339, if you put it in there, then the turn algorithm will know to try and treat that as a server. Other things that can be set here is the startup directory. So this is when you start up the application, what's the first directory it looks for traces. So if you have a bunch of directories with traces in them, if you're working in a particular application that relates to one of those directories, you might want to navigate to it either through the browse button here, navigate in through the filing cabinet icon here, and once you're in that directory you might want to hit current, and they'll select it to the currently selected directory as the default startup directory. It's useful if you working on the same directory for a few days. Other things in here is setting friendly names. So this is an alias for a certain IP address. So this is useful if you want to send some of the information that you're gathering to someone who's not that familiar with the IP address used in the application. So I might want to, at the moment you see I've set up a friendly name for this 192.168.1.201 address as browser, but maybe I want to change this to being my machine. If I say OK, then refresh one of these traces, you see now that it shows that IP address as being the my machine one. So it's useful in tiers too to set the tier names this way. So put in DB for database tier, service for maybe the web service tier, that sort of thing. It just makes it a lot clearer when you're reading through these traces. You've got the option to turn on and off friendly names. A lot of times you want to toggle between the two, because you might be looking at the thing and finding the IP address that you want to use for doing some other work, but then you may want to send out a report that's using the friendly names. And lastly on this page is the turn decode. The decode functionality at this level is fairly basic. It doesn't actually have decodes for each protocol. If you want to do that, something like Wireshark or one of the commercial tools may be better, but it does allow you from the application point of view to see what's been sent between the two sides of a turn, or the client and the server. And in most cases, just clear text representation of that information is going to give you a good idea what's happening in the turn. Sometimes you don't want to show formatting characters, so if there's something like a carriage return or a lot of tabs that are in the decoded information, you may not want to have them represented as formatting characters, in which case sometimes when you view them they aren't represented well in the viewer here. So you can decide whether you want to turn on or off the formatting characters. The other thing is the maximum decode length. By default it's set to 5,000 characters, so this is the maximum decode that it'll do on large turns. So if you have a turn with, say, multi-megabytes of information in it, it just makes the application a lot more responsive. It doesn't have to go through and actually decode all 1 meg or 2 meg of data. So that's the options.